This is what I use to shoot content. First, lighting is everything. I use newer lights because this is what it would look like without lighting. Oh, he's an ogre. That's not funny. The next super important thing is a mic. I use a wireless DJI mic because this is what it would sound like without it. The next super important thing is a tripod because when it comes to shooting content, you have to be self-sufficient. Here's why this matters to you. I'm giving away my full setup, new lights, new mic, and new tripod to one member of my community. I started off with a clip to make sure you guys were aware of the contest. You know, at the end of the month, we're giving away lights, tripod, microphone, same setup I have, but brand new is coming your way. And don't be concerned because not only are you guys members, you are subscribers. So you're gonna have 3 times the chances of winning. So your luck is a little higher than most. So looking forward to that. But I also started off with that clip to make sure you guys understood that quality mattered. We're talking about quality control. That's what we're going to be focusing on the first part of this how to shoot content class. The first step to setting yourself apart is quality. Now that usually comes down to audio and visual quality. These are the 2 key components to your video being of the highest quality. First thing you need to know is buy an iPhone. Think of it as an investment the same as buying a camera, except this one is way more portable and it has more functions. I'm literally shooting this class and have been shooting this class on an iPhone. This isn't my phone. This isn't my normal phone that I use. My normal phone that I use is right here to call people. I have an actual iPhone that I use just for content capture. I purchased it specifically for that reason. It's a 1 terabyte iPhone. Now, every 2 or 3 years, you want to upgrade that iPhone. You don't have to upgrade it every time a new one's come out. Don't fall for that one. But every 2 or 3 years, upgrade that iPhone to get, you know, a better camera quality, better settings. But yes, first step, get yourself an iPhone. That's what you're going to be shooting on. All of your content is coming from that iPhone. Even the highest form of content that you want to shoot, you can do it on an iPhone. And that brings us to our first step on that iPhone, camera settings. Now, everybody, when you shoot on your iPhone, you want to make sure the phone is always set on 4K 60 frames per second. So what does that look like? I open my iPhone, I go to video. Now when I go to video, at the top right, you see it says 4K 60. Now mine is automatically set there, but some people's, theirs is set at HD 30 or HD 60. All you gotta do is tap on it. You wanna go to 4K 60. That's very important. That means it's at the highest quality rate it can be for filming. Now, because those files are gonna be so large, what you wanna do is, after you get all of your content edited, you want to either delete the raw files. So let's say I did 4 takes of this, right? And then I edited it down to just that 1 take. All of those raw files I'm gonna delete. I'm just gonna save that edit. Or all of those raw files, I'm gonna put on a hard drive and just save that edit. Because you may wanna keep those files, but for me, I go ahead and delete them. But what you don't wanna do is leave those files on your iPhone to take up space. Camera settings, first step, 4K, 60 frames per second. That's the highest rate the iPhone will shoot right now. You wanna make sure you're getting that done. Now, when we're shooting our content on our iPhone, short form content, meaning things that go up on TikTok, IG Reels, Facebook Reels, etc. We're always gonna wanna shoot that vertically, meaning the long way. So we're shooting like this. We're shooting vertically. Wow, do I look like a shooter? Yeah, we're shooting vertically, right? Always. Short form content, you wanna shoot vertically, but this is very important. When you're shooting long form content, meaning like this class I'm shooting right now horizontally. Long form content, you wanna shoot horizontally. For example, things that you're gonna put on YouTube, or maybe you're dreaming bigger than that and it's like, hey, I'm shooting my documentary that's going in theaters later. You want to shoot that, horizontally. You want to shoot that this way. So now when I'm shooting that long form content, my camera is turned this way. Now, of course, anything that you shoot horizontally can later be edited to be vertical, but it's best if it's for short form, shoot it in vertical from the beginning, because a lot of times that horizontal content that you try to transfer to vertical, pieces of it gets cut off. You end up, one person is sitting on this side, one person is sitting on that side, and you lose one person trying to show the other person. So Long form content, we're going to shoot horizontally. Short form content, we're going to shoot vertically. So always make sure any short form content, you're shooting it vertical from the beginning versus trying to transfer from horizontal to vertical later. Let's get into the next very important thing when it comes to that quality. Have you ever been on IG and you're looking at somebody's reel and it's so clear, it looks like that person is jumping off the screen at you? That's not the camera, that's the lighting. Lighting is one of the most important, if not the most important factor to the quality of a video. The lighting can be lit so well, you're on there and you're like, man, this person is jumping out at me. That's because they had great lighting. So we're gonna get into lighting your content. When we talk about how to shoot content, the quality control is everything. So let's get into lighting. So let's start with natural lighting. Yes, I have taken you guys outside with me. Right now, the sun is perfectly on my skin. When you're shooting with natural lighting, you want the sun to be facing you, hitting you right in the face. That's how you're gonna get the clearest, smoothest, highest quality content. Now, the thing about that is time of day means everything. Right now it's 2:30 in the afternoon, and guess what? The best background I could get is this white wall. Now, I have an entire beautiful pool behind me, but because the time of day I chose, the sun is behind me. So this lighting right here is terrible for my face. It's terrible for the video and the content that I want to create. Even though the background is great, it doesn't matter. You have to pick the time of day where the sun is shining. I probably should have came out here at 9 or 10 a.m. if I wanted to get a great shot of me in front of the pool saying whatever I had to say. Because look at my face right now, and then look at the face when the sun is shining beautifully on me. That's what you want at all times. So it's very important to shoot when the sun is facing you. If you're looking for that perfect background, you have to time it with the time of the day because the sun matters. The sun is the most important thing to shooting outside. There is no lights that you can buy that's going to match the beauty of sunlight. So lesson number one, anytime you're shooting outside, the sun needs to be shining directly on you. That's how you're going to get the best quality content that exists. Honestly, there's nothing better than the sunlight, man. It's a beautiful thing. When it comes to lighting, there are loads of lights. You have ring lights, you have the newer lights like I have, you have soft lights, you have so many different light options. But you guys are professionals now, so you need to buy lights. Somebody's going to win a set of newer lights. But even if you don't win, go out and purchase yourself a light or lights. Right now we're shooting on 2 newer lights that are coming from each corner facing me so that I'm well lit. Now, every time you shoot, you have to adjust the lighting. Here's a mistake I've made 100 times, admittedly. I have very chocolate skin. So I've made a mistake of overexposing myself, meaning the lights were too bright. And so I ended up looking orange. So every time you shoot, you want to check those lights because it really depends on the natural light that's coming in the room. It depends on the room. Every room is going to need a different amount of lighting. And if you have more professional lights like these newer lights, you're able to adjust them to be very bright, very low, very white, very yellow. You want to try to make it look as naturally lit as possible. You know how we were just outside with the sun? That's the type of exposure you're aiming for. I think I may have said this at the beginning, but just in case I didn't, I am not a lighting expert, but I never put out a piece of content where I'm not lit because it matters. That clarity, that quality, it comes from lighting. So I want to make sure you guys own a set of lights, are using lights for every shoot to make sure you have that quality. And if you're outside, the sun is on you to make sure you have that quality. Lighting is everything when it comes to quality of content. So please be aware, have your camera settings correct. Make sure you're filming for the correct form of content you want to be filming for, and make sure your lighting is on point. You guys will probably get way better than that than I am, but either way, you'll never be in low quality. You'll never have low quality content because you don't have good lighting. Let's step into the next thing that's important about your content. So what's one of the most important factors to shooting high quality content? The audio. That's why the microphone
is so important. Microphones are everything because honestly, almost any microphone is better than using the iPhone mic. While the iPhone has some of the best cameras, the mic is not it. You want to have some sort of mic when you're using your iPhone, unless you're shooting B-roll. And real quick, B-roll is just footage that's shot that's going to be overlaid on the main footage. And so usually we don't use the audio from B-roll. So pretty much any speaking content, we're going to be using what's called a lavalier mic. Lav for short. This DJI mic is a lavalier mic. It can be wired or wireless, doesn't matter. Anytime we're moving, we're on the go, we're in motion, we're walking, or even just standing, we're going to be using the lavalier mic if we're going to be doing some sort of talking, right? Any podcast style content, I use a Shure MV7 USB microphone. Whether you're doing podcasting or not, people have become used to seeing this microphone in content. When we get into content marketing, we'll talk about how consumers are used to consuming your content. So whether you have a podcast or not, having this microphone in your content when you're speaking will be a great benefit. Now we need lav mics and podcasting mics to show more of our brand. People want to see you talking. They want to know what you stand for. They want to see you interacting with people in the streets. But when we're shooting performances, we probably want to use a traditional microphone. Quick secret, live vocals are almost always better than overlaying your song on content. Now, me, I'll use both because it's your platform. You can use a piece of content with your live vocals and then later on use a piece of content with the song overlaid because you have unlimited shots. It's your platform, but we'll get into that when we talk about content marketing. Me, I'm a shot shooter. I'm going to use every avenue I can. We'll get into that in the content marketing though. Now, last but not least, your trusty dusty tripod. I've shot every one of these classes on a tripod. Nobody's here helping me shoot this class. You want to be self-sufficient. You want to be able to pull out your tripod anywhere you are and go right into shooting. I carry my tripod, my mic, and my lights everywhere I go because I never know when I might come across the perfect location. Speaking of location, that takes us right into our next subject. While quality is a must 100% of the time, quality control must always be kept. But the thing that will set you apart is the aesthetic. Aesthetic is so important when it comes to shooting great content. Now, all of us should start at home no matter what. If you've read the 10 R's Commandments, commandment number 1 is tell the truth. And the reason for that is all about authenticity and vulnerability, but more so for consistency. If you can produce content at home, then you can produce tons of it. So the trick is to find the most aesthetically pleasing locations in your house. Now, aesthetics are not all about beauty. Aesthetics are about eye-catching environments. So poverty-stricken kitchen, a rundown living room, a porch with rotted wood are just as great aesthetically as a field full of flowers. Why? Because they are very eye-catching. Aesthetics is all about eye-catching environments. It's not about beauty. Of course, most of us don't live under those extremes, but we must find the most aesthetically pleasing places in our home. That could be the bathroom mirror. It could be an accent wall. It could be in front of a painting. It could be on a balcony. It could be in a garage or a certain eye-catching couch. For me, I looked around my office and I tried to find the most aesthetically pleasing spot in my office that I could shoot content. That way I can shoot a ton of it because I don't need anybody's help. I have my tripod, my lights, my microphone, and I don't need to book anybody's location. I don't need to go location scouting. I can shoot right here as much as I want in this aesthetically pleasing place that I have found. So guys, I was looking around my office and I have these 2 chairs right here, folding up my tripod so I can use it, right? I have these 2 chairs right here, my library wall right there. And I was like, man, that chair right there is pretty cool. Maybe that'll be a great aesthetically pleasing place. But then I looked at this bookshelf and I was like, man, I really love, what this bookshelf is kind of giving. I don't know, every time I watch ESPN and I see those anchors that are recording from home, they're in front of some sort of bookshelf. So I said, okay, you know what I'll do? I'll move my chair in front of this bookshelf. And that's exactly what I did. I came, pushed it in front of it. I said, okay, I like that. Then I took myself a seat. And I said, yeah, this is definitely gonna work. I'm a ton of content right here. And this is wide right now, but it's normally gonna be vertical. And so I set it up, and this is one of my content spaces in the house. I shoot a ton of content right here, sometimes with my portable, my wireless DJI mic. Sometimes I set up the podcaster mic, and it's really funny, you guys wouldn't know this, but the way I set it up is I go get my kids' dinner table. It's a little short dinner table, and I put the mic on their dinner table so it comes up perfectly right here. And I've done podcasts like that. I've done content like that. And so if you ever see me with that podcast mic right here, just know my kids do not have a dinner table in the kitchen because I'm using it right here for my podcast mic. And so that's how creative you have to get. You have to find those spaces. You have to make it work. You have to figure out what works for you in those spaces. But it's all about aesthetics. Trust me, aesthetics are going to take you to the next level. Quality is everything. Never put out anything that's not quality. But if you want to up it a notch, and you have to up it a notch. If you're in this community, I need you to up it a notch. Aesthetics is everything. So let's talk more about aesthetics. I just wanted to show you, how I come up with these spaces in my home, and you can look around your house and figure out how to come up with the spaces in your home. Now that's here in my office. I'm gonna go to every room and I'm gonna try to find those different locations. I've shot on my balcony before. I try to find locations in every room that may be aesthetically pleasing, and I set up and I shoot. The same should go for you. Find those locations in your house that are eye-catching. Remember, you're shooting vertically, so you don't need a wide location. It could be a very narrow space that you're shooting in, and use that space as much as you can to create as much content as you can. And like I said earlier, when I'm out, I keep my equipment with me, as you should too. You never know when you're gonna run across the perfect location that has the perfect aesthetics and the sun is just shining perfect for you to get an impromptu performance. Imagine you're riding and you come across this museum, it looks gorgeous and the sun is shining right on it. You can hop out with your equipment and your tripod, shoot a whole live performance in under 7 to 10 minutes and be out of there before anybody even notices you. Now, once you get to that level, you're a content genius. When you understand quality control, you understand aesthetic, you can shoot anywhere, anytime, because you understand the game. Now, what comes next after quality control and after aesthetics is creativity. Now it's time to put on your creative hat. Now it's time to get those creative juices flowing that I know you have as an artist. You're an artistic person, so you have to apply that to your content. Just keep in mind quality control 100% of the time and keep in mind aesthetic. Then you can add creativity. This Thursday on Live, we're going to talk a lot about creativity, but if you remember last Thursday, I told you we're also going to be picking somebody's music to create content for the next step of this, which is content marketing. I can't wait to get into content marketing because once you have that knowledge, you're going to be a whole new person, a whole new beast, whole new animal, like Kobe Bryant likes to say. So I'll see you guys next week when we talk content marketing. I'm going to break down the 5 ways to use content to market your music you do not want to miss next week. I'll see you all soon.